I get it. You have a 580 credit score and you're tired of renting. You're ready to buy. But here's the question no one's going to give you a straight answer on. Can you actually get approved for a mortgage in 2025 with that credit score? Or are lenders just going to keep just giving you hope just to get you into the door? Today, I'm breaking down the truth that most lenders won't say out loud. And I'm giving you real world examples of how people are buying homes right now, even with low credit scores. So let's answer the question directly. Yes, you can get a home loan with a 580 credit score right now in 2025, but not with trade-offs, okay? Let me explain what that means. So FHA loans, these are backed by the Federal Housing Administration, that's what the FHA stands for, are the most common option. They allow buyers to get approved with just a 580 middle mortgage score, okay? And just 3.5% down. But here's what most people don't know, all right? For example, if you apply with a 580 credit score, but your income, let's say it's inconsistent, or your debt is too high, or your rent history might be shaky, you're likely to get denied. And yes, even with an FHA, but even though FHA technically allows that, okay, lenders use something called manual underwriting for riskier loans. And that process digs into everything. Now, it's not a bad thing. They just got to verify everything that you're talking about because they're not letting you borrow $20. They're letting you borrow over $200,000 or whatever that number is for you. Okay. So now what do lenders look for besides credit? Here are 3 things that lenders want to see on top of your credit score. Okay. Number 1, on-time rent payment history for at least the last 12 months. Let me give you an example. If you've been late even twice with your rent, you might get flagged. Why? Because rent is the closest monthly payment to more than likely what your mortgage is going to be. All right. Next would be a low debt to income ratio, also known as your DTI. Okay. Even with the 580 credit score, lenders want your monthly debt to be below 43% of your income. Okay. Next is going to be 2 years of stable income. So changing jobs isn't a deal breaker, but gaps in your income can be. So for example, let's say you started working at a company or you stopped working, let's say in January, but you didn't start working the next job until let's say September. That's too far of a gap. Anything that's 6 months or more is going to be too far of a gap. And they're going to want you to wait until you're on the new job for at least 6 months. Okay. But here, quick break. Just because you're watching this far, you're obviously serious about going into homeownership. I put together a free credit guide that breaks down how to improve your credit scores right now. Okay, you can see results in the next 30 to 60 days. No fluff, is easy steps. Go ahead and scan the QR code right here on your screen or click the link right now inside the description below. Okay, now let's go ahead and get to the next one. Okay, so even though FHA says 580 is okay, many lenders have overlays, or pretty much they don't want to do it, okay? Extra rules that they add on top of the FHA guidelines. For example, okay, one bank might require a 620 even though FHA will take 580. Another may demand 6 months of savings. That's why 2 people can have the same exact credit score, can walk into 2 different banks and get completely different answers, okay? Or even the same bank and get different answers. It's not all about who you are. It's about where you apply, okay? So again, just because you have your checking account with this particular bank doesn't mean that they may be the best bank for you, okay? You need to make sure that you're exploring multiple options, okay? So if you have a 580, here's what you need to do first. Here's my checklist that I give to all my credit clients that have at least a 580 credit score, okay? Number 1, pull your credit reports from all 3 bureaus, but make sure you go to myfico.com. You can get the advanced plan for $29.99 a month. Okay. Next, look for any collections, charge-offs, late payments. Okay. Dispute them if you need to. Next would be understanding what your debt to income is and bringing that down. Okay. So again, to keep things simple, if you have multiple credit card accounts, multiple personal loans, you need to make sure that you have enough income to cover that. And if you're not sure, it's perfectly fine. You can call a lender. A lender doesn't need to run your credit, okay, to help you figure out your DTI, okay? So again, the credit piece just finalizes everything, but you can tell them verbally without them having to run your credit, okay? And please make sure your rental history is solid, especially if your landlord reports it, okay? For example, I had a client that had a 582 credit score, but her landlord used rent reporting software, okay? Her 12-month rent history got added to her credit report, and she was able to get approved in 38 days, okay? So not bad, right? Also, if you're watching this and you want a custom strategy based on your exact situation right now, we create custom game plans for you, okay? We can look at your credit report and show you exactly what you need to do step by step. It's like having a GPS for your credit score and your credit goals. Go ahead and scan the QR code right here on your screen or click the link inside the description below to learn more, okay? Let's stop guessing in 2025. Now let's get back to the rest of the reasons. So let's talk about this. What happens if you're below a 580, okay? Like if you're like a 570 or a 560 or even lower, then you're gonna need to put down 10% instead of 3.5%. So you can still get approved, you just gotta put down more money. Then also you're gonna have to go through manual underwriting. Now this process means it's gonna take a little bit longer, they're gonna ask for more documents, but other than that, you'll be fine. Now most lenders won't even consider you unless you've got 0 collections and a strong income, okay? But it's still possible to get approved. Let me give you an example. One of my clients had a 559 credit score, but she had 0 debt, 2 jobs, and tax returns to back it all up, okay? She was able to get a manual underwrite, and then she closed on a home with her daughter, all right? She still had to go through manual underwrite, but she was able to close on a home with her daughter. Next is 3 things you need to know about buying a home with the 580 credit score, okay? I wanna break this down clearly, all right? Number 1, your credit score doesn't tell the full story, and banks know that. That's why they look at everything else. They look at your income, they look at your rental history, they look at your job consistency, they look at your debts, okay? Because those matters just as much and sometimes more, because those are other people that you're paying, so they wanna know where your money going, okay? Number 2 is where you apply is gonna matter. You wanna go to a broker. And the reason why is because a broker is going to represent multiple lenders, so they can try to get you approved instead of just walking into, let's say, your local bank, because what ends up happening is you just get one answer and you say, okay, I'm just not made for homeownership, okay? Number 3, you'll pay more interest. With a 580 credit score, you're likely to get a higher interest rate, especially in 2025, than if you had a 620 or higher, okay? But here's the thing. It's still better than renting long term because you have no control, you have no equity, okay? You can at least get the home and then refinance later, all right? Now, here's how to raise your 580 credit score to a 640 in less than 90 days, okay? This is where it gets actionable. So if you want better loan terms, you need to do this right away. And I mentioned some of these things earlier. Number 1, need to start disputing outdated or inaccurate accounts, okay? A lot of credit reports have inaccurate items on them. You can dispute those things. Some things come off, some things don't, but especially like late payments that's older like than 24 months, those types of things you can dispute, okay? Another thing you could do too is use rent reporting services. For example, services like rent reporters that can add up to 12 to 24 months of on-time rental history to your credit profile as well, okay? Now, these are just a couple of tips. Listen, we got plenty of tips that are directly inside of this YouTube channel, and we'll see you guys on the next video for more.